Welcome to episode 5 of the Elevation Room podcast. Back here in business, feeling good. Today we're going to be going over some harsh truths, some harsh realities, revolving around self-improvement that young people will have to face. So we have a bunch of questions today. We got about 8 questions today, and they're revolving around business, finances, health and fitness, and just general lifestyle questions. All stuff related to self-improvement. So we're just going to be going over these questions. They're a little bit controversial because we want to keep things controversial around here because that's what people want to hear, right? But yeah, excited to get episode 5 rolling. It's good that we keep on rolling out episodes like clockwork. Got to stay on the clock. We had a little bit of trouble this week because our schedules were all conflicting. So we were thinking that we wouldn't all be able to meet up for an episode this week, but the show must go on. So we made it happen. So
Pull it
here
together.
we are. Yeah, I got to pull it together. But yeah, before we dive into the questions, we'll keep it nice, simple, calm today. Let's go over, see how you guys are doing today. So what's been going on with you guys?
Honestly, man, I've been chilling. Same old me, same old grind, same old weeks for me. But Blue Jays won yesterday. It's currently tied 2-2 in the World Series against the LA Dodgers. We're big Jays fans here, so that's a big deal for us. So we're all feeling good today, in good moods. Mo, how you feeling?
Honestly, same. I mean, every podcast is gonna have the same answer: gym, school, work. We're doing what needs to get done. And like Ollie said, the Jays won. It's 2-2, and I'm feeling good. It was so tough to see the Jays lose that game 3.
18 innings, bro.
That was crazy. I was like 2 a.m. Like, hey, I'm going to bed. Like,
Oh, so you didn't finish the game, did you?
No.
Bro, I K'd in the 15th inning. I just fell asleep watching the game. And then I woke up. It was like 4 a.m. I checked the score. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, because it was like 7 innings or something where there was no points.
Bro, yeah, that's
That's insane. But
I'm not going to lie. I stayed up for that. The game ended around 3 a.m. And I was literally getting a headache from watching that. Like,
Bro, it was like a 5-hour game.
I just wanted to go to bed, and I was like, I just couldn't. Like, I'm a guy that, like, I need to see the final outcome before bed. So, like, that's why I stayed up. And, like, it really messed me up, bro, because, like, I was getting, like, a headache and stuff. I was like, bro, when is this going to end? It was just, like, so bad.
Yo, it brought me back to my video game days, staring at the screen for like 5 hours
Yeah.
straight, man.
I was getting a headache.
Yeah, my eyes were just like, I don't know, I get a weird feeling in my eyes when I stare at the
Yeah.
screen for too long, but I was feeling that, just like the video game days.
Yeah. But, yeah, the series tied 2-2. What's been going on with me? I mean, honestly, I'm calm, to be honest. Like, I'm on day 9 of the Stairmaster Challenge. Morgan's on day 10. And I've said this to Morgan, but since I've been doing the Stairmaster Challenge, I'm 9 days in. I've been feeling good. Like, my cardio has been feeling good. My general health has been feeling good. And I've been looking good as well, too. So I feel good about that. If you guys don't know, we're doing Stairmaster every single day for 100 days straight. So it's going to be going into the start of 2026. And, yeah, we go on the Stairmaster for 30 minutes a day. Other than that, yeah, we dropped episode 4 just a couple days ago. And we're really happy because we're really starting to get some traction. We've only been launched for a month now, but the podcast is starting to compound in interest. Our videos are getting a lot of views now. And our 4th episode that we dropped yesterday, it has the most views out of any episode within a 24-hour span that we've ever dropped. So our consistency is starting to pay off. And from this point here, we're only getting started. So we're excited for what the future holds for us. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to keep it calm. Unless you guys have anything else to say.
That's calm.
We could dive straight into the questions here. Yeah, so I got about 6 questions that I'm going to ask these guys today. And then Ollie's got a question, and Morgan's got a question for us as well. Like I said, these are questions revolving around a various amount of topics, revolving money, revolving relationships, revolving lifestyle, health and fitness, all questions that relate to self-improvement. Because at the end of the day, we're just young men trying to become the best versions of ourselves. And these are all controversial questions. And, you're going to hear some harsh truths today. You're going to hear some harsh realities. Maybe you'll get a wake-up check. Who knows?
Wake-up call.
But, yeah, other than that, without further ado, let's dive straight into these questions here.
Let's do it.
So I'll go ahead and ask you guys this first question. Get the ball rolling. This is a very controversial question because
We're starting in the deep end here.
Yeah, we're starting in the deep end. I've heard a lot of mixed responses to this question because this is kind of a universal type of question. First question is, does money actually buy happiness?
Oh yeah, I can start this. You guys can feel free to jump in whenever. But I'm just gonna KO. Should we all do one word answer first, and then we'll dive deeper into like our reasoning behind it? Okay, I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's controversial, but I am gonna say yes because a lot of people would say no. I'm not gonna lie, but
No.
yeah, you go ahead and elaborate on why you would say yes.
Okay, so I was a firm believer that it didn't for a while when I was younger, but the moment I changed my mind on this topic was in, I think it was psychology class in grade 12. We were watching a study case being done where I think it was each person was given $20 on the street, and some people weren't given $20 on the street. I can't really remember how it went, but all I remember is the outcome of the test was that money does buy happiness because of what it can do for other people and yourself. The people who were given the $20, I think even some of them gave it to homeless people. Some of them bought a coffee, but in general, the $20 made the people happier than the people who didn't receive the $20. But I genuinely do believe money buys happiness because not just the things that it can get you, but the places it can get you as well. Like, for example, traveling, like being able to go see family if you live far away, just so many other little things. Like, what do you guys really have to say about that?
I mean, I would agree. I feel like people that say money doesn't buy happiness, they either are buying the wrong things or they just don't believe they can achieve enough money to buy them happiness. That's what I feel. Because like you said, like it's not necessarily what the money buys you, it's what it can do for you. Like, you don't have to work if you have enough money. You can take care of your sick parents. You can travel, it's what it really does. That's what's more, I feel like that's what brings more of the happiness.
Yeah, honestly, bro, I feel like it just takes like a huge stress. Like, money is such a stress for people. It takes such a big, if you have money, if you're wealthy, it just takes a big piece of stress out of the big equation that you have in your life. Like, for example, like, you can become healthier faster if you have money. You can like hire a trainer, hire a nutritionist. You can just do so much more with money that could take so much stress off your life. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, so do I think money buys happiness? Yes. But I think at the end of the day, money is a tool, right?
Yeah.
And it totally depends on how you use your money to make you happy. Because there's so many people out there that have boatloads of money, but they're not happy. And we've seen it before. We've seen celebrities literally commit suicide, right? They have all the money, but clearly they weren't happy. They weren't fulfilled inside. So I think it's that just with the snap of your fingers, if you were just to become a millionaire, a billionaire, of course, for the start, you would be happy and you'd be living off that high. But eventually when reality kicks in, if you're not truly fulfilled inside, I don't think money can just turn you into this happy, blissful person 24/7. But like I said, money is a tool and it totally depends on how you use that money. So of course, I can use money to make myself happy, right? To live the life that I want to live. I can retire my parents. I can, go on vacations with my friends. Obviously, all that stuff would objectively make me happy. But yeah, we've seen it before, just to mention one guy, Robin Williams, he was a famous actor. He has all the money, but clearly it wasn't enough for him and he committed suicide. You know what I mean? So it's like you see this stuff happen all the time and it kind of proves that money doesn't fully make you happy, but it depends what you do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I've heard stories before of, I don't know if this is like a folk tale or something, but I've heard a story about like a prince that had everything that he could ever wanted, right? Like his father was the king and he gave his son the life of like his dreams, right? Like anything his son wanted, he would give to him, right? He's like, hey, I want like a buffet dinner tonight. His dad would get that for him. Hey, I want like a new car or whatever. His dad would get it for him. And eventually like that kid became depressed because he was just getting everything he ever wanted and he didn't have to work for it in any sort of way.
And what probably happened with him too? His perception of money got destroyed by just being given everything. And I think that happens to a lot of people nowadays too, like certain celebrities, like other people, everyone's got a different perception of the value of money. and it's that really affects the way you use it as well. I think. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like imagine it like this. Imagine your life is like a video game. Who would play a video game where they, you know,
they're already
they
max
play the
level.
game and they're already max level. They already have all the money. They have all the skins. Everything in the game they already have, right? Like that's just a game that us humans wouldn't play.
You got nothing to work for at
So-
that point.
Like it just proves that like humans love the journey and they love to work for something and they love to have the purpose. So if you just have everything handed to you, it takes away that purpose and therefore it can make you unhappy. But just generally, does money make you happy? Can money buy happiness? Like I said, yeah, I can go on vacations with my friends. I can retire my parents. I can drive the cars that I want to drive, right? It would objectively make me happy. But if you're not working for that money, if you get it all handed to you, I don't think it can just magically make you happy.
It definitely can.
No, yeah,
sure.
yeah. Earned money, I would say, would definitely buy happiness because it's overall you'd be happy with what you achieved. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Because even like the grind of earning money, like it will teach you the value of money as well. Because you work so hard for every dollar, you're gonna want to spend it accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like if you have all the money in the world, but all the other aspects of your life are lacking, like you have horrible relationships with your wife, you have bad relationship with your friends, you're not respected, you're overweight, you're not taking care of your health, then you're probably not going to be happy either, even if you have all that money, right? So
Yeah.
money just won't magically make you happy, but depending on how you use it, it can definitely buy you happiness.
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
It can provide you with the lifestyle that you want to live, can provide you with that comfortability. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. You just gotta go to achieve like that full circle. Like I think one of you guys mentioned it in like a previous podcast, but you gotta fill out your entire circle. Like obviously finances is a big part of that circle, but then you have your health and fitness, which is probably the most important piece. Then you have your relationships, your friends, your social life. Like you gotta become a very well-rounded circle. You can't just be solely reliant on money. That's it.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, cool. You guys have anything else to speak on about that topic, or
I think
you guys
I'm
wanna
I
good.
think
move
we're
on?
good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to sum it up, we all came to the conclusion that yes, money does buy happiness, but you have to actually work for that money to achieve that happiness. Because if you just get everything handed to you, it gives you no purpose. It gives you no fulfillment.
It defeats the purpose of money at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
So
Yeah.
if you work for your money and you make the money, yes, it can buy you happiness and provide you with the lifestyle that you want. But there's beauty in the struggle, right? So there's beauty in the journey. You got to fall in love with the journey. And I think that's where the true happiness aspect of it comes from. Yeah. Anyways, we'll go ahead and move on to the second question. This is more of a social question because this is something that affects every single person in 2025 because every single person has social media, especially our generation, Gen Z. We all have social media, and the generations that are going to be coming after us as well are all going to have it and be growing up with it as well. Is social media doing more harm than good? What do you guys think?
Real quick, I think it's doing a lot of harm, but it's also doing a lot of good because it keeps people connected. I'd say, I mean, we can be connected with people like in China right now, just with social media, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, there's just so much memes and just like bad stuff like going around.
Yeah, like brain rot.
Yeah, brain rot stuff like 6'7", like
Yeah.
like just stupid stuff like that, you know? And for us, like it's funny, but like there's genuinely kids that are like in grade school that are just their brains are just like fried. Like they haven't even had time to develop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I have an example of this. Like, okay, I have a little brother, right? And one of his buddies, he lives like behind us. He's like one of his buddies in grade school. He's in grade 6. And so him and one of his boys, they're going as 6'7" for Halloween. He's going as 6 and his boy's going as 7. Like, bro, what does that even
Like that-
mean, bro?
yeah,
like,
That's
like,
crazy.
Like, that's a crazy costume,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
But yeah, do I think social media does more harm than it does good? 100%. I think it does more harm than it actually provides goodness to the world.
Yeah.
Because just like the last question, do I think money buys happiness? I think it totally depends on how you use social media, depending if it's harmful or if it's good for you, right? And I think just speaking about the general population, it definitely does more harm because most people aren't using it in a beneficial way, right? Most people are just scrolling on their phones, getting addicted to the doom scrolling. Kids are being influenced by brain rot videos, and it's really just frying their brains. And yeah, I think it totally depends on how you use it. Like the way I use it, yes, I obviously still doom scroll, but for me, I'd say social media is a beneficial thing for me because I use it to put my message out there into the world and grow on social media and try to motivate and inspire people. And I also look for that as well. I look to be motivated and I look to be inspired on social media, and I also look to learn. But I'd say the majority of the people using social media are really just getting their brains fried from it, I'd
For
say.
real.
Yeah.
And it's all, there's a lot of negative perception on social media as well, especially for like young men, young women, like seeing people on social media and they're trying to be like that so bad. And it's just like social media is fake at the end of the day. Everything on social media, unless you're being a genuine person, is probably not real. Like probably 99% of the stuff you see on social media is like either just like not real. Like say for example, like all these like scam course sellers, like flexing all their
Yeah.
flashy things. Like it's all about the perception and like the body image too. Like people always like, obviously this can be used in a positive way too. Like young men trying to get ripped, trying to get jacked, just focusing on being fit. Then there's like also women too, like seeing all these other women posting on Instagram. And it's just, I don't think it's really healthy for the perception in the mind of a young person.
Yeah, it totally depends on how you use social media. But yeah, it definitely does a lot of harm. Like social media is so new to this world because it's only come around in our lifetimes, right? And it's just such a toxic environment sometimes because there's people that, can talk behind a screen, but they never say something in real life. And there's people out there that literally leave comments every single day, hate comments, right? And there's no repercussions for it. If you talk crap in the street, you know what I mean? There's going to be repercussions. But if you just talk online, like you're
Nobody
hiding
knows your
behind a
name.
screen,
Nobody knows what you
about it,
look
right?
like.
Yeah.
There's no punishment for that. So it's giving people like such a toxic environment to navigate through. Also, like, I mean, just the horrible stuff that you see online, like Ollie said, the scammers online. Also, like, just like the sexualization that you see
bro.
on social
For
media
real.
as well. Stuff like this is getting promoted to children because children are literally on social media, and on Instagram, TikTok, you'll see these OnlyFans girls posting crazy thirst trap videos every single day. And it's getting young men addicted to that kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah.
just going to ruin their brain, ruin their social skills and their perception of what a real woman is, which is like horrible. It's like poison for your brain.
Yeah,
right?
it leads to like terrible addiction at the end of the day.
Yeah. And also like just the whole doom scrolling addiction thing. Yes, I can admit myself that I'm 100% addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to doom scrolling. And it really pains me to think about all the time that I've wasted scrolling on my phone, just watching stuff that doesn't even benefit me in any sort of way. And if you think about it, like I want you guys listening to think about this too, and you guys as well. Try to think about the last day that you had where you didn't do at least 3 scrolls on social media.
Right.
I probably can't think. It's probably been years since I've had a day where I didn't scroll at least once on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a day where you're busy all day, if you go to the washroom, you're on the phone, you're on your phone on the toilet, you're at least gonna do a couple scrolls, right?
Yeah, and you don't even remember you're doing
Yeah.
it either. That's
Yeah.
the crazy
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I saw this TikTok once, like over a year ago, and I still remember it to this day. I was scrolling, and this guy, his video came up, and he's like, "I want you to remember what video you watched 8 videos up. Like, what did you watch?"
You can't remember.
There's
it.
And
no
he's like, "You
way.
can't remember."
There's no way.
Like bro, like out of all the videos that I watched yesterday, I could probably only remember one video that I watched yesterday. And I
Yeah.
probably watched over like 30, 40 videos on TikTok or Instagram, right?
For real, bro.
And also like just for the younger generation, because these kids are growing up with social media now, it's so much easier for a child to get addicted to things because they get used to it, right? And I see this all the time. I see little young kids addicted to their iPad, addicted to their phones. Like I remember recently, this has actually happened a couple times, but it's very sad. I was out at restaurants and I would see like a family eating at the restaurant. It would be like 2 grandparents taking their grandchild out for dinner or whatever. And the kid would just be on his iPad the whole time and he'd have his headphones in and the grandparents would just be sitting there quietly. And the kid would just be on his phone, on his iPad, sitting at the table, not even paying attention to their grandparents. And I remember even I was looking over and the waiter came by and she tried to, ask what everyone wanted to drink or what everyone wanted to eat. and the kid didn't even like look up to like order what like the kid wanted because he was so fixated on his iPad. And it's really sad because it's taking away the social aspect of life, right? Social media, but it's really just ruining our social skills.
Social
Yeah.
life, yeah.
You know what I
in
mean? Like,
general.
and I feel bad because you really got to cherish those moments that you have with your grandparents or even your parents, because one day they're not going to be there. And this kid is growing up, you know, prioritizing his iPad instead of spending time with his grandparents,
For real,
which
man.
is very sad.
And like,
Yeah.
bro, I can't imagine how hard it is like for a kid, like, or how bad it is for a kid. Like, cause bro, if people like us, grown people, are getting addicted to this stuff, imagine how crazy it is for kids. Like, just becoming so fixated on like doom scrolling and the cheap dopamine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cause even for us, like, we could all admit we're definitely addicted to doom scrolling. Like, it's a
100%, yeah.
it's for sure an addiction that we have. And I can't imagine how hard it would be for a kid to overcome that growing up in that atmosphere. Because
Yeah.
that's become a social norm for that kid too. You know what I mean? Like, imagine trying to break that habit when you're like 20 or 30 years old. It's going to be impossible.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys, how on top are you guys going to be about letting your kids be on social media at a young age? Or like what age are you going to allow them to have their own phone or stuff like that? Me personally, I am definitely going to be on top of my kids. I'm going to be checking through their iPads, checking through their phones. I'm going to be setting limitations. And I remember when I was a kid, my parents had limitations for me for screen time and video games. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, why do they do this? But now, as a man, I realized why they were doing this, just to help me out, because it's so easy to get addicted to these things like video games, screen time. And there's so much dangerous stuff, like we said, on social media nowadays, like OnlyFans girls, crypto scams, bad influences online that are ruining these kids' brains, that 100% I'm going to be looking through my child's iPad
Bro, you
as
gotta
much
be
as I
so
can. I'm going to be
careful.
so on top of it. And I'm going to be limiting them so much. Like, absolutely not. They're never going to be allowed to have an electronic at the dinner table.
For sure
Like,
not.
that's just not happening. You know what I mean? That's something that's not going to happen. But yeah, I'm going to be on top of it a lot and try to protect my child as much as I possibly can, because truly, social media is so harmful and it's so dangerous
Yeah.
in today's
bro,
world. But
for
yeah, what do
sure.
you guys think? Like, how on top of it are you guys going to be?
Before I answer that though, I just want to say that like even for me too, when I was growing up, like my parents would say like at like 11 p.m. like leave your phone in the kitchen, and then I couldn't have my phone in my room when I was sleeping, right? And back then I'd be so pissed. I'm like, why? And I'd even sometimes like sneak down to like grab my phone.
So would I.
But like now I understand, because I mean we grew up at a time where like I mean TikTok didn't come out till like 2018, right? We were already in like high school by then, or like middle school. But like imagine like growing up like 4 years old, 5 years old, and you're already on TikTok. Like it's actually so bad.
Yeah.
Like I was on the GO train once, and this kid, he wasn't even a kid, like he was like 10 years old, and he wouldn't stop bothering his mom to like get her phone to like scroll.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it is. But I would say, yeah, for me, like I'm definitely gonna be on that. Like no phones, none of that at the dinner table. Like I think that's just so like that's so bad.
It's
Like,
so
Like
crazy,
there's
bro.
literally kids turning into like furries now because
Yeah.
they're getting influenced by furries online.
Yeah,
You know what I
like,
mean?
it's insane.
Like there's kids doing some weird stuff nowadays, and it's like that stuff wasn't happening when there wasn't social media around.
Bro, yeah. The only thing I'm really worried about nowadays is that because we've all kind of, well, not us necessarily, but like the younger generation, they've all grown up on social media. And the reason why our parents were so strict on social media was because they didn't have it when they were growing up, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, people are growing up with social media now, so it might become like more of a social norm to like allow all this behavior, right?
100% it will
But
be.
for me personally, I'm definitely going to be like my parents. I'm going to be very strict with screen time and just try to limit my child as much as possible without like affecting their social life and stuff like that. But I really do think you have to be so on top of it as a parent for sure, especially with the changing world. Like social media is just going to become even more present as we get older and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I mean, if you have no restrictions on your child's social media, you're letting your kid doom scroll whenever they want, you're letting your kid use electronics at the dinner table, like, I think you're a horrible parent, and I think you're jeopardizing your child, right? Because it's truly gonna have a massive influence on how they act in the future. And if you get addicted to something at a young age, because these kids are on social media as young as 3 years old, 4 years old, addicted to the iPad, staring at the screen. When they turn, older, when they grow up, it's gonna be way harder to shake that addiction
Yeah,
because they
for
were
sure.
been addicted to the thing at such a young age. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we only got addicted to this stuff at like 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, but these kids are growing up with it.
Yeah, these kids are growing up with it. And if you're a parent and you're not on top of your kids' social media usage, you're not looking at what they're seeing online, and you're letting them have no limitations. They can go on the screen as much as they want. Like, truthfully, like, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. You got to be on top of your kid. You can't let your kid get influenced by the wrong things, and you're melting your you're literally melting your child's brain by letting them just do whatever they want on social media.
Bro.
100%.
You got to be strict, bro. You have to be strict.
Yeah. But anyways, you guys want to move on to the next question? Anything
do
else
it.
to say about that?
I would say yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
I'm calm, yeah.
Let's move on. Ollie, I think you got question 3 for us.
Question 3. All
So
right, bet.
let's run that up.
All right. So, as a 20-year-old, do you guys think it's better to be delusional or realistic in your 20s?
All right. Do I think it's better to be
I think-
delusional or realistic?
I'm going to be honest. I think we're all going to have the exact same answer here. But
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, like, we disagree on things, but, like, me and these two guys, like, we grew up together. We're all chasing the same goal. Obviously, we're not chasing the same specific goal, but we all want the same things. We all
We're all
want to
working
optimize
towards
our
our
life.
goals.
Same
right? So
outcome.
yeah,
we kind of have the
we're all
same.
chasing success.
We have the same opinions on things. Sometimes we have different opinions, but I mean, do I think it's better to be delusional or to be realistic in your 20s? I think at the end of the day, everyone has a different definition of what delusional is, and everyone has a different definition of what realistic is. So something that I think is delusional or something that I think is realistic, others will think is delusional, right? So for me, the goals that I'm chasing, I don't think any of my goals are delusional, but other people watching from the outside might think so because, you know, I'm chasing success on social media. I'm chasing health and fitness every single day. I'm chasing financial freedom. I'm chasing, you know, the abundance mindset where I'm traveling the world and living my life. And to most people that are more traditional, they don't think it's realistic. And I've heard it. I've heard, you know, people even close to me tell me that my goals and aspirations, you know, have to be a little bit more realistic. But what I truly think is if somebody has done it before you, how is it not realistic? If there's people on this earth doing what you want to do, I don't understand how those goals are unrealistic. So
That's
I
what I
100%,
mean.
I think it's good to be labeled as delusional because everyone's delusional until it works,
Exactly,
right?
bro.
So yeah, what about you guys?
I think, bro, for sure. Like, at the end of the day, you're right. Like, everyone has a different definition on what's delusional and what's realistic. But I've been called delusional so many times, just like you, Nate. Like, I've experienced it from family members, close friends. But because I'm so confident in my ability to achieve my goals, I've been called delusional before. So I'm just going to have to say, obviously, you have to be delusional at 20 years old. But what do you think, Mo?
Honestly, I'm gonna agree. Like, I would say don't be don't be like so delusional or like, yo, I'm gonna be a billionaire by next year. But like, all the goals we have are like they're not even delusional. Let's be real. Like, the average person might say, oh, like owning a business, like that's delusional. Like just work for somebody or like just do this, just do that. But bro, there's like millions of business owners like in North America alone. Like,
For real,
how
bro.
is that delusional? Or like, how is a million followers delusional?
Yeah.
Like, there's thousands of people
There's
with
so
a
many
million
people.
followers. Like, how is that even delusional at the end of the day?
Especially in today's day and age,
Yeah.
like it's never been easier to succeed.
Exactly.
And like
For sure,
even
bro.
most people watching this, and we've got a lot of comments about this before too. Most people think just starting a podcast is a delusional thing
Yeah,
to do. It's like, oh, look at these kids, like, oh, they should ban podcast equipment. Why are these kids starting a podcast? But at the end of the day, what I truly believe in is that consistency leads to inevitable success. So us working on this podcast, if we just never stop, inevitably we're gonna succeed.
For sure, man.
So yeah, all you guys that think, oh, starting a podcast, trying to grow a podcast is delusional, like these kids are never gonna make it. At the end of the day, consistency leads to inevitable success. And whatever you set your mind to, whatever you decide you're gonna be consistent in, you can succeed in that field. And that's exactly what we're gonna do with this podcast. We're 1 month in, and we're just not gonna stop. You guys are gonna see 1 year from now how much growth we've had.
For sure.
And
sure, bro.
I'm just talking about this podcast, but every other aspect of my life as well, where people think I'm being delusional, right? Like I'm posting every single day on social media with no significant result. But at the end of the day, when I do make that big jump and when I do have that big break, it's not going to be delusional anymore. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I knew you would have done it. But at this time now, they think it's delusional.
Nobody believes. Yeah.
Right? Nobody believes until they believe.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So-
I actually have a specific example from that question, from this exact podcast, actually. I think it was like our first or second episode. We were talking about how much we're going to have in our Wealth Simple. And we all said over $1 million by age 25. And I had so many people, like older people, come up to me and they're like, oh, well, how do you like plan to do this? And like, I'll explain my rationale to them. And like, it almost sounds like they don't believe me, like when I'm telling them, and like they'll talk to my mom, like, oh yeah, Ollie's gonna be a millionaire by 25. Yeah, like I will, because I believe I will. But like some people just think it's like, some people think it's a delusion, but at the end of the day, like it's reality for all of us. So
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on this in the last episode, but everyone that's ever done something huge in life, right? Like we talked in the last episode about confidence. We talked about Conor McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, all these very successful people. They all had to believe in themselves to get to that point. So by us not even believing in ourselves and listening to what the outsiders have to say, well, it won't even give us the chance to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like the first step is believing in yourself. If you don't even believe in yourself for whatever you want to do, then obviously you're never going to get to that point, right? You have to have that self-belief and not listen to the outsiders, because if you listen to them, you're never going to go after what you truly want out of life, right? We only have one life and we have a short life. So why the hell not would you not start that podcast? Why the hell not would you not book that trip? Why would you not talk to that girl? Why would you not start that business, right? You live one life. If you want to live in a little box your whole life and listen to what everyone has to say, you can do that. It's fine. It's your life, your choice. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be called delusional 10 times out of 10 than live a life that I don't want to live.
for sure, yeah. And bro, even if you shoot for the stars and you land like nowhere close, but like still further,
Still land on the moon.
bro, you're still
Yeah.
landing on the moon. You know what I mean? Like having this mindset can do you no wrong at the end of the day. Like you're gonna at least get close to your goals or achieve more than you would have ever thought by having this type of mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only people that will ever doubt you or be like ask you how you're gonna make $1 million by 25, they only ask that because that they know that they couldn't do it. It was too hard for them.
Yeah.
So they're in their mind, they're like, oh, if I couldn't do $1 million by 25, like how is Ollie gonna do that? Or
Yeah.
like if Nate, like I would never post on social media. How is Nate gonna reach 1 million followers? You know what I mean? So
But you know what? I kind of get it from older people though, because it was so much harder to make money back
That's
in their
true,
day
too,
than
yeah.
our day now. We obviously understand how easy it is, but they don't really understand
Yeah.
that yet because they grew up in such a different world than we live in today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like nowadays, like going back to the last question too, the benefits of social media, you can connect with people all over the world. I have connections with people from all over the world because I decided to post on social media, and you can leverage those connections. You know what I mean? So it's like nowadays, obviously the opportunity is at the highest it's ever been, but I think if you're stuck in that scarcity mindset, you're stuck in that realistic mindset, you're really just putting yourself in a box. And who cares if you're delusional? You know what I mean? That delusion, that abundance mindset will only allow you to succeed more in the future. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If people think I'm stupid for thinking all these aspirations for myself, I really don't care. Like I said, it's my life, my choice. I'm going to do what I want out of my life.
Exactly, bro. Nobody's opinions matter at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
nobody's
so, like,
opinions matter. Even the people closest to you, right? Because obviously the people closest to you just want to see you succeed and stuff like that. But
yeah, and it's tough to get over it too because they have one of the biggest influences
Yeah.
on you as a
For
young
sure.
person too.
Yeah.
like, yeah,
But bro, you gotta just be so confident in yourself. That's all I have to say.
yeah. The only person's opinion that matters is yourself. You know what I mean? Like we've heard it. I'm sure these guys have heard opinions from the people closest to them as well. And like when you first hear those opinions where it's like, Nate, your goals aren't realistic, you know, it really discourages you at first. But once you get past that discouragement and you realize that, you know, you only have one life, go after what you want, then it really doesn't matter anymore. And,
Yeah,
you know, the people that are closest to you are going to love you either way.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and I find that this is from personal experience. Once you have like a little bit of progress into something, people will jump on board with your idea so quickly too. Like if you tell somebody, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you actually show real proof that you're doing it, people will support you throughout the way too. And it's just, yeah, it's a tough first stone to hop over, but once you're over that, you're good.
yeah,
Cool, guys. You guys want to go ahead and move on to the next question?
let's do it.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. I got this next question here. Question number 4. This is kind of an interesting question. It's not really that deep as the last 3 questions were, but it's kind of like a general cool question to ask. Would you move to another country to chase success? If so, where and why?
You starting with me?
Mo, you want to go first?
Sure. If I had to, or
Like, just do you think in your lifetime you're going to move to another country to chase success? Or do you think you're going to stay in Toronto or Canada your whole life and just base up here?
I would say that you don't necessarily need to move, but if I were to, it would probably be America. I'm not gonna lie.
Where would you stay in America?
Either New York, Florida, or California, one of the big 3 states.
Okay, interesting.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on there. Like I wouldn't want to move to like Oklahoma or something like that. Like you would want to move somewhere where like there's opportunity. Delaware.
I was gonna say the same thing, bro.
But yeah, I mean, to chase success, like yeah, like if that's what needs to be done, like let's say I meet a guy on social media who lives in. Well, actually, it doesn't even matter.
Wait,
at the
Mo,
end of the day.
I got a question. So you're not trying to get slimed out in South Dakota?
Yo, bro, these people from
Yeah.
these states are gonna be on your
Yeah.
ass, bro,
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah,
watching.
I hope no one from South Dakota is listening
Yeah.
to
or
this right
or
now.
Delaware, bro.
Or Delaware.
We're not going to Delaware, bro.
Yeah, we're not allowed in Delaware.
But yeah, I mean, like realistically, like if it meant success, like yeah, I would. Like let's say I meet somebody on social media who lives in. Actually, doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Like let's say I meet a guy who ends up living in Turkey. You know, like if we can work together to do something to make money to become successful, like I'd move there for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't really matter where, but I mean, was part of it was why, right?
Yeah, like why would you?
Why would I? Because I mean, like you said with question 1, right? Like the grind, the working hard to make money, that would ultimately like I'd buy happiness for me, right?
Yeah.
For what I can do with the money, family wise, friends wise, all that. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it really matters where. Just it matters on the opportunity itself. That's what matters
For
more.
sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm just gonna keep my answer simple. I'm really obsessed with okay, so it depends what age I'm at though. At this age, I feel like it'd be more fun to live in like Florida, like Miami, like just like
Yeah.
have fun with money, especially if you're young and successful, just because there's so many more like-minded people out there as well. But I think the one place I would really want to move to as a young person who's wealthy and successful, I would definitely want to move to New York because I really love like the real wealth vibe of New York. Like I feel like there's not like a lot of supercars, like nothing fake. Like bro, you'd see like a millionaire, billionaire riding the subway in New York. Like it's just
Yeah.
like living in like a nice high rise. Like I feel like that life would just be like I really like a fast paced life too. I feel like New York's very fast paced and it would really fit like the person that I am. But before I move anywhere, I definitely want to max myself out in Toronto first. Like I really want to just like hit max level here.
Yeah.
And then if say an opportunity presents itself, like what Morgan said, I would definitely move to a different spot for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of you guys. I would definitely move away from Toronto to start chasing success because it just goes with my whole philosophy of chasing that life of abundance, having that abundance mindset. I think if you say, I'm never going to move away from my hometown, that's more of a scarcity mindset because obviously wherever you go in the world, there's going to be more opportunity. Where would I live? I think one place that really gravitates towards me at this point in my life, I see a lot of young, ambitious guys moving to this place as well. Austin, Texas. I think Texas is just a really cool state. I've actually never visited. I'd like to visit soon because I got some connections out there, and I think there's a lot of opportunity out there as well. Because there's a lot of people doing the same thing as me, growing personal brands, living a fit and healthy lifestyle out there. So the type of life I would want to live is, have a nice big property, raise a family. The housing's pretty good out there too. You can buy a pretty massive house for cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having that abundance mindset. Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely move away, depending on which opportunities are presented to me.
For sure, yeah.
And I think that change of environment, the change of scenery can really allow you to level up because it can give you more inspiration, more motivation to do things. And obviously more connections, right? And connections can be very valuable. But yeah, for sure. I'll leave it at that. I think it's a pretty simple, straightforward way to answer it.
For sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and
Yeah.
move on to the 5th question. This is a crazy question. because I've actually thought about this quite a bit within the last few years. But question number 5 is clout a form of modern day currency? I'll go ahead and I'll answer this first. I think 100% clout is a form of modern day currency, because if you have clout or you have a presence online and people know about you, you're automatically going to be respected because people have seen that you've built something that people are paying attention to. And I think it relates to the toxic society and toxic environment that we live in today's day and age. Like if you have followers, realistically they're just numbers on a screen, but you're going to be benefiting from those followers in your real life as well, right?
For sure, yeah. You're going to be, like, I think if you walk into a room, you're probably going to be more well-respected than someone who doesn't have clout. So, like, I think it definitely is a form of currency.
Yeah, like, I mean, people say it all the time. Clout is a hell of a drug, and clout will make you and people do some crazy things, right? People are literally selling their reputations online just to chase clout. They're doing these crazy pranks, pranking Walmart, just getting bad looks on themselves just because they want to chase those numbers.
Yeah, bro, it's like having like a shit ton of money too. Like if you have a shit ton of money but you don't know what to do with it and stuff, like it's gonna make you kind of crazy. Like you're gonna be buying all this stuff, just destroying your perception of money. And it's kind of like the same thing with clout too. Like you're gonna do these crazy things to earn it because like you just like that's what you want so bad,
Yeah, it really is a drug, and normal people in society are gonna respect you more for having a large amount of following on social media, and they're also going to want to associate themselves with you more. If Morgan, just for example, if I was a normal person and I didn't know these guys and Morgan had like 1 million followers on social media, I'd probably gravitate more towards Morgan, because in the back of my mind, I'd probably be thinking, this guy has 1 million followers. Maybe in some sort of way I can benefit from this guy.
Yeah.
And the harsh reality is that's what most people have in their mental. They're looking to benefit from people. They're very selfish, and that's just how the toxic society of 2025 is at this point. Yeah. What would you say, Mo?
Well, I feel like that's why most people even want to post in the first place. Like a lot of people just want that clout of just being known on social media, just always racking in a bunch of views.
Yeah, just like recognized.
Yeah,
and
just
stuff
being
like
recognized. Yeah, like going out in public and it's like, oh, is that Ollie? Is that Nate? Like, oh, I follow him on TikTok, or like I've seen him on Instagram,
Yeah.
So I would say yeah, but also too for me, like I feel like it goes deeper than just followers too. Like we've seen it so many times. Like people will do like just stupid stuff online just to get like views. You know what I mean? Like some people don't even care about the followers. Like they want to have like a viral video, like to do some like stupid prank or like say something like stupid or like racist or just like it's dumb just to get
gain popularity.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
Just to be like just to kind of fit in, like be like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So. For sure, yeah. I would say it's definitely a form of currency, no doubt.
Definitely a form of currency.
Yeah,
like,
for sure, yeah.
You're going to
Hands
be
down.
invited to things that you wouldn't get invited to if you didn't have big numbers on social media. You're going to be presented opportunities that you wouldn't have been presented if you didn't have a lot of followers on social media.
Yeah, for
I mean?
sure.
So
I agree.
100% it could be used as a modern day currency. So yeah, leave it at that, I guess.
For sure.
Go ahead and move on to the next question.
Let's do
This
it.
next question kind of relates to the clout question and the social media question as well. We're all creators here. So do numbers define your worth as a creator? Do you think having a lot of followers defines your worth as a creator? If you guys want, I can answer this first too, because this is something that I've really thought about, because I've been chasing success on social media for a little bit over a year now. I post every single day. And I realized that recently, I don't care if I have a large following on social media. I don't care if I have a lot of views, a lot of likes. All I care is that I'm spreading the message that I want to spread. And all that matters if I can inspire and motivate at least one person. And I've done a good job at that. And I had someone recently speak to me. This was just the other day. I was having a conversation. And this guy's telling me, like, yo, Nate, like, you should start doing pranks. Like, you'll get a lot of views on that. You know what I mean? And I said to him, I'm like, brother, listen, like, I would never do pranks because that's not who I am. I'm not just doing this to get numbers on social media. I'm doing this so I can have an impact and spread my message. So me doing pranks and trying to chase numbers, chase views is totally unproductive for what my goal is. My goal is to inspire and motivate and spread the messages that I have about consistency, about self-improvement, about health and fitness. You know what I mean?
Bro, no way someone said that.
Yeah, I literally had a comment. He's like, yo, start doing pranks.
That's actually crazy.
And I'm like, bro, like, that's not me. Like, I want to be totally authentic. And I'm not just this guy. Like, I'm not, this guy that goes around pranking people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like if I were to start doing pranks just to chase numbers, that will then be inauthentic. You know what I mean? And I think authenticity is a huge thing. You know what I mean?
Like, how can you look at your page, like fitness, self-improvement, going for a run, and then just say, yo, you should start pranking? Like,
Yeah, like yo,
what are you gonna do for a prank?
Yeah.
What's the bright?
Yo,
what's the bright idea?
imagine like I'm just posting videos like about like like I'm posting videos about health and fitness. I'm posting videos about self-improvement, consistency, and then the next day I just post a video. I'm on the intercom at Walmart.
yeah.
Clean up in aisle 6-7. You know what I mean? Like
Okay, that's one of the craziest
people are
takes I've
selling
ever heard.
themselves.
Like,
People are selling themselves for views and likes and followers on social media, but all those numbers don't mean anything to me as a creator. What means the most to me as a creator is that I can help people and inspire people, and I don't look at the numbers. I think if I keep being authentic and I keep being myself, those numbers will eventually come, and I know for sure that those numbers are eventually going to come. But for right now, I'm just going to be authentic, just be myself, and try to inspire and motivate and spread a good message. But yeah, I'll let you guys dive into that too quickly.
No, yeah. Honestly, I think you covered pretty much everything I agree with too. But like to add on, like definitely like having like that, like just like a good audience base too. Like for example, like you guys love John Mark. He doesn't have like the biggest following on social media, but he's mega successful because of the audience that he's built. Like it's not the biggest audience, but it's still like an audience that he has built over time, over trust, and just building that undeniable stack of proof that he is the man that he is. And it's the same thing with you too, Nate. Like you're still building like the undeniable stack of proof that people can look back on and just spreading your word about your true beliefs. And I do the same thing too, like just trying to be 100% authentic on social media. So I don't really care about the numbers and stuff like that because I know they'll come, and it's sort of like a passive thing that will just gain over time. But I'm not there just for the numbers. Like at the end of the day, I'm just there to spread the message too. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It brings up a good point. Like me personally, I'd rather have 10,000 loyal followers on social media than 100,000 followers that just follow me because I do pranks and they don't really care about me as a person. I'd rather have 10,000 people that look up to me and that are inspired and motivated by me than 100,000 people that just follow me because
yeah, and just toxic.
I act like a clown online and I do pranks and I try to benefit off of being stupid online. You know what I mean? I'd rather have that tight following for people that like me for me rather than having a big following for just being an idiot online.
Yeah,
For sure, yeah.
And I'd rather be looked at like as that person who's spreading their message and like spreading their beliefs online and just spreading what's good for people and inspiring people than having that look of like that goofy dude on the street who's like running up to people and like yelling and stuff. Like I just think it's just being true to yourself at the end of the day. What do you think, Mo?
I would agree, yeah. I mean, and since you brought up John Mark, I remember he would always say in his videos, like, followers literally don't matter, especially if like you want to build like a business through your personal brand through social media. Like your followers literally don't matter. Like he was basically saying like what Nate said. Like let's say you're a king, right? Would you rather have 10,000 loyal like army men, like fighters for you, or like 100,000 just like a random
That will switch up.
that will switch up? Yeah, exactly.
And that don't truly care.
They don't
about
care.
You, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather have people that care about me than people that don't. And also like I don't know. It's just important to like realize like why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because there's so many people out there online that are really just posting to chase those numbers. But they got to realize that it's not going to give them any fulfillment when those numbers come, you know?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. Question number 7. This is a crazy question. I'm not gonna lie.
Is this the last
Yeah,
question?
well,
Or
this
Mo,
is-
do you still have? Oh,
I can read it after. I'll read it
Yeah,
after.
Mo's got the last question. But this is a crazy question. Should you be playing video games as a grown man?
Hell no. Bro, I mean, like, seriously, like,
Okay, hear me out. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I think we probably all have the same opinion on this. But as an avid video game player, as a young person, I recently grew out of video games the past 2 years or so. I haven't been playing much. I bought a PS5 when the PS5 came out during COVID. But other than that, like I haven't been playing video games at all, really. I think it can be a hobby, but you cannot let it consume you fully.
Yeah.
Some people are just consumed by by video games, sorry. And they just like, they live for it. Like they hop on every single day. They just know life video games. And I think it's such an unhealthy habit. Like it's just one of those habits that you have to break because it's going to do you no benefit. Like you can have that hobby. You can hop on the game for like 1 to 2 hours a day. Fine. Join the party with your friends and like talk and just have a good time. But there's always a time and a place for everything. Like you have to work hard to earn that type of, it's just like any other habit or like hobby that you have. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, like you just cannot let it consume you. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, video games are a hobby. Me personally, I haven't played video games since I was like 16 years old. I used to play video games all the time when I was in middle school. I'd be addicted to video games. I'd play them every single day. And then my hobby kind of switched from video games, where all my attention was, and it kind of switched into health and fitness, working on myself. And I kind of just grew out of video games. Do I think video games, do I think you should be playing video games as a grown man? I think it's fine if it's just a hobby. But at the end of the day, like, I do think there is better hobbies out there. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my hobbies are better than someone that plays video games. Like, some of my hobbies, health and fitness, working on myself in the gym, creating on social media. Even this podcast is a hobby for us. And this kind of relates back to the last question as well. Like, do the numbers define you as a creator? I think who cares about the numbers? We just do this because it's our hobby and we enjoy doing this. We enjoy having open conversations, right? And we enjoy having conversations that you guys can listen to as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, video games is a hobby. As long as you don't let it affect your life in any crazy ways, I don't think it's that bad, even though I don't do it. And there's definitely more productive hobbies that you can find out there.
For sure.
There's always guys that won't give up video games, guys that love it, right? So who am I to say that?
It's a hobby, man. Like
you
we all
stop
have
playing.
hobbies. Like it's just like another hobby. But you just I think any hobby can affect you in a bad way if you just let it completely consume you, unless it's benefiting you. But that's a different story.
And I think even if you're playing video games too, like you can even benefit off that too, right? You can start streaming, you can play in tournaments and win money and stuff like that. So there is benefits to playing video games, but as far as all the other hobbies you can choose from as a man, there's definitely a lot more productive hobbies out there, I'd say. Yeah.
I think it depends, like, how you grew up, too. Like, if you grew up playing video games a lot, like, if you want to play them into your, like, adult years, like, that's fine. But like you guys said, like, don't let it consume you,
Yeah.
Because, like, even for me, like middle school, like Nate said, like, I had a hard run. Like, also, too, like I said, it depends how you grew up. Like, I didn't get an Xbox till I was in, like, grade 7.
Yeah, me too.
So
I was pretty late too.
Like, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and 10, like, those 4 years, I was playing, like, every day. And then during COVID, like, it was so bad. Like, I had such a bad sleep schedule. Like, I was, like, nocturnal. Like, I'd wake up at, like, 3 p.m. I'd go for a walk. I'd go to Tim's. And then I'd scroll on my phone till, like, nighttime. And then I'd play video games from, like, 10 p.m. to, like, 5 a.m. Like, every day. I'd run that same thing.
Yeah.
And then one day, my dad was, like, waking up to go to work at, like, 6 a.m. And I was on Fortnite in a party. And I didn't, like...
Did you get pissed?
He was pissed. He was so mad.
Yo, that's a big wake-up call.
The sun was coming up. And I remember since that day, I like, stopped playing. Like, that's, like, the downfall for me. That's when I stopped playing. Like, bro, like, this is getting out of hand.
I mean, realistically, there's so many, like, more important priorities than playing video games as a man. Like, I remember when I was back in middle school and I'd be playing video games, joining different parties. I remember, like, I would join some parties and there'd be, like, grown-ass men in the parties, right? And then they'd just be playing the game, like, talking crap. And I'd hear their kids crying in the background. It's like, bro, like, go help your kid. Your kid's crying in the background and you're playing Fortnite as a grown man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more important priorities that you can prioritize in your life rather than playing video games as a man. But like I said, if you have everything straight, if you're taking care of the important things first, then I don't think video games is that harmful as a hobby.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone
Yeah,
has
yeah.
their own
Yeah.
hobbies. Everyone has their own interests. There's just guys out there that love gaming.
Yeah.
no, it's calm. Yeah.
So, anyways, let's move to the last question. Morgan, I think you got the final question for us.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead, read it off to us.
All right, boys. What's stopping you from going all in? Fear of failure or fear of judgment? What do you guys think?
Man, this is a great question because I think most people, their mind would immediately go to the fear of failure. Most people think they're afraid of failing. But at the end of the day, I think most people are just afraid of being seen trying. Most people are afraid to be seen by their peers posting on social media. Most people are afraid to be seen by their peers starting a business. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid of that judgment that those people will give them. Because if you think about it, what even is failure? You know what I mean? Is failure even a real thing? If I were to start a business and it completely failed, but I actually tried my best and worked on it for a while, would I 100% be actually failing, or would I have learned stuff along the way?
Yeah, no, for sure not.
You know what I mean?
Like as someone who's started a business before and experienced multiple failures, it's all a learning experience. You have to have that mindset that everything you do is beneficial in the business. If you waste a bunch of money here, you know for next time not to do it. If you like build a bad relationship with a client like by accident, or if you piss somebody off, at the end of the day, it's all a learning experience. It's just gonna form you into a better version of yourself. It's gonna just increase your knowledge about not doing it next time and just becoming better. That's it.
Yeah, for me, there's no such thing as failure. If you take every loss as a lesson, you'll never be a loser, right? And after each loss, you'll just get better and better, right? And you'll be able to tweak things and do things differently the next time around. So yeah, I think the reason people don't act on what they truly want out of life is not because they're afraid of failure. I think it's because they're afraid to be judged by other people. They're
Yeah.
afraid to be seen trying. And most people, most normal people would just call it, oh, they're afraid of failing. They're like, oh, what if things don't go right? What if things go wrong? It's like, you're really not afraid of that. You're really just afraid of being judged and putting yourself out there.
For sure.
For sure, yeah.
Because I mean, like you said, there's no such thing as like a loss. Like the business example, right? Like if I start a business and then like I overspend on something, or I hire the wrong guy, or I just do something wrong, like that's not a failure. Like that's a lesson. Now I know. Okay,
Yeah.
next time I want to look for a business partner,
Do things differently.
I'm not gonna hire somebody who has this trait or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
as long as
Yeah.
you take it as lessons learned, not a failure,
Exactly.
you're good. At the end of the day, it's beneficial. It's
Exactly,
a
yeah.
beneficial failure.
yeah, that's genuinely what you want. It's just bringing you closer to what you're gonna end up having. So
Yeah. I feel like at this point, like because I've failed so many times over these past few years, I've almost become like desensitized to failure. Like if I was to go out and make a bad investment, I wouldn't even be pissed because like I just know that it's a lesson learned and it's just gonna push me closer towards my goal. And it also makes my story a bit more interesting when I'm telling people about like my come up and stuff like that.
exactly, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think just saying that you're afraid of failure is really just a cop out. It's really just an excuse. Because, like we said, if you take every loss as a lesson, you'll never be a loser. And, like, just breaking it down to the most basic example, like, if you're scared to go talk to a girl because you're afraid she'll reject you, you talking to that girl is only going to help you down the line. Even if she rejects you, you're going to have more confidence to talk to the next girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're just afraid of, being seen
afraid
trying.
of judgment. That's
You're
it.
afraid of the judgment, and that's why you're not doing things in your life. You know what I mean? That's why you're not taking actions on the things that you truly want to do. I'm sure everyone out there wishes they could post on social media. They all wish they can build a brand and have people that are looking up to them. But the reason they don't do it is because they're afraid of that judgment. They're afraid of what their friends would think. They're afraid of what their family would think. And that's why people in life don't get what they want out of life, because they don't want to be seen trying. And at the end of the day, you only live one life. If you're constantly caring about the opinions of other people, if you're afraid of the fear of judgment of what other people will think about you for trying something new, starting something different, then you're only giving those people more power, because you're giving them control of your life. You're not doing something because you care about what they would think about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing it for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
why not do it?
Yeah, do it for yourself. Yeah. Anyways, anything else to touch up on about that last question, guys? Or you
I
guys
think
wanna-
I'm good.
I think I'm chilling. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. You know, we just wanted to keep this episode short and sweet. Just bang out these controversial questions. Next week, we're going to have a more specific topic of discussion. We kind of just wanted to try something new here and just kind of touch up on all different aspects.
Honestly, I liked it. I liked
Me
how
too,
we did
yeah,
that.
it
That
was good.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think having more questions and having to answer a bit quicker is more efficient for us too. I think it's easier to answer the
Yeah,
questions.
because, you know, we can touch up on a lot of things
Yeah.
instead of like over analyzing some stuff. You know, it's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to move quickly and touch up on a various amount of topics. But yeah, guys.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're about an hour in. This is episode 5 of the Elevation Room. We're very excited to roll this one out. And honestly, the more episodes that we post, the more clips that we get out, for me personally, I just get more motivation to want to do more and more. The more I see this thing, the Elevation Room, slowly growing, the more motivation it gives me. Like I said at the start of this episode, you know, we were having trouble coordinating our schedules together to film this episode this week. But right now it's early morning on a Wednesday morning, and we were able to get this done because we wanted to get this done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what we got to do. We got to make it work.
This is
Yeah.
important. Like we said, the show must go on. So we really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That was episode 5 of the Elevation Room podcast. We will see you guys next week.
Peace.